Ciaran, how and when did you find out about the opponents?
I found out Saturday there, yeah, so it was a bit of a mad one. It was they had the shits up me for about half an hour, and then the next later they had someone then, you know, so.
Does it change anything at all for you this week?
No, not much at all. No, it's just at catch weight now, so no, not as much weight to cut around like that. And not that I had to cut major weight myself anyway. I don't really, but it's yeah, it's grand. It's I was just delighted to get the opponent. You know, 6 days out, it was kind of, you know, as I said, they put the shit to me then, you know, but I'm all right now, you know.
And this guy's Bellator debut, would he be out to prove a point against you?
Oh yeah, of course. Like, I mean, you know, you're going to get to this stage, you're going to be wanting to go out and get, you know, he's going to be coming in guns blazing, obviously, and he's coming off 2 losses. I think he fought another promotions and that, so I think this, you know, he's going to be coming out, but I'm well prepared anyway.
It's another huge night on Friday. How's the build up been the last few months? Because you've been busy, you know, there's a documentary you made about you to come out for Christmas. How's it been?
Yeah, it's been good. Yeah, it's just this camp's been long. You know, it's been, you know, it's been a long one. Like, you know, because we found out 15 weeks out. Actually, I think even more. Found out in May, like, you know. So as soon as you find out, you're just it's in the back of your mind. And obviously set up the documentary coming out and all that in December. And Manifest Media's doing that for me. And then obviously yeah, like it's just it's been good. It's been good. It's getting a lot more, you know, attention and stuff. So I'm looking forward to it.
Ciaran, what can we expect to see in the documentary?
Basically, it's so I don't know if any of you seen the little small clip that was done on me in November after the fight in the 3 ring in November. So it's just a little small clip and that, and then Jamie Sherry from Manifest Media, he's the one that done the video, and he followed me around now the last 12 weeks, and it's going to be, he came to me and he wanted to do, I suppose he's a story to tell through me, and yeah, so it's going to be good, and then all the proceeds and the money that's made from it's going to be going to charity and stuff, and it's going to be a premiere night in Drogheda, and so it's all going to a local charity called So Sad in Ireland. It's in Drogheda, sorry, and it's called Save Our Sons and Daughters. It's mental health. So yeah, so that's what's going on in December. So exciting stuff, yeah.
Yeah, busy man. Amy here just reminded me, we did an interview last week and you were talking about, you know, knowing so far out in advance about this opponent and constantly thinking about the opponents. On fight week, you've got a new opponent. Like, what does that do to you mentally?
Yeah, it's a bit of a mad one. Yeah, like, I mean, look, you know, you're visualising all the you know, scenarios that can happen in your head with this opponent, the style, his, you know, his attributes and different things. The next little bang, you know, you've 6 days out, which I wasn't expecting. I'll be honest, on the Friday, a week out, you're like, deadly. He's made it. Both of us are healthy. And the next day, I couldn't believe it. I was like, what is he doing a week out of the fight? Or, anyway, I don't still know the reasons, but it is what it is. And I'm sure whatever it is, he can't make it. But just delighted to have this new opponent. And yeah, I'm prepared anyway. I've had put in serious amount of training for this, so I'm prepared anyway.
Was there any ever hesitation to take a new opponent? I imagine, you know, you're a big ticket seller. A lot of people come down from Drogheda. That's got to add a pressure to, you know, to be there. Yeah,
big time. Yeah, like, no, I just think I needed a fight. I needed a fight, and all these things were going through my head, and you know, I was thinking about the Italy card, and if they couldn't get someone, and I was because I'm away then a week after, like straight away after the fight, I'm going on holiday with my girlfriend, and I was like, oh, this, you know, you know, all the emotions go through my head, and but then they got someone for the night, so I was like, happy days. I didn't care, I just wanted someone there on the night, you know. It didn't bother me. As I said, I'm here in Bellator now. I'm not trying to build a record to get to, you know, as I said, I wouldn't be that type of guy anyway building records, but I'm here in Bellator now, so I'm just delighted that they have someone, you know.
John Kavanagh referred to you as the future of Irish MMA. Do you feel any additional pressure when you hear someone as high profile as John obviously talking about that?
Yeah, well, not really, no. I suppose, if, you know, looking at my record and how many fights I did have and stuff, and it is a great compliment from John, and you know, it's I stayed amateur for long, I did 24 fights, and you know, this will be my 30th fight now, amateur and pro now on Friday, so it's just the experience stands me down in the end, you know, and that was obviously a great compliment coming from my coach John. Like, obviously the amount of people that's in the gym, you're probably talking 80 plus active fighters, always people coming over travelling, and he's pinpointing me at them all. So, and just to mention, like, the amount of stuff that John has done for me over the years, and like, I feel he's always put me at the forefront of his mind when it came to opportunities, sponsors, anything really. Like, he's really, you know, really got behind me, and I really appreciate it. And I'd be always trying to say to him, oh, how can I thank you? He says, look, get the wins, and that's how you can thank me, you know. So looking forward to hopefully getting another one now on Friday.
You're one of the few people in Irish MMA with an unbeaten record, something that's very marketable. When there was that last-minute switch of opponent, was there any part of you thought it's not kind of worth the risk and reward here because I'm expected to win this fight now?
No, I literally didn't think of that at all. I was just thinking, I just need a fight. You know, I just need to. I'm not even thinking about records because I've lost so many times at amateur and I've won so many times, and you know, and it doesn't bother me. You know, I fought the who's who. You know, every different type of body and person at amateur, so it didn't bother me. And up weights, down weights, it doesn't bother me. You know, it's just as long as you had someone there on Friday. You mentioned like I have 300 people coming up from Drogheda here, and I was turning people away for tickets this weekend. Like, you know, bus loads coming up, and you know, I'm sure they didn't want to miss me then either on the card. You know, so yeah, just happy to be here, to be honest.
You were saying there about visualization and things like that. Where do you see the next 12, 24 months of your career? What's the ideal career path for you now?
Look, I hate answering questions when it comes to the future because I can't, you know, it's not in my control, and I don't know. What's in my control now is Friday night and is getting the win, and that's all I'm really thinking about, just getting the win Friday, because you know, I just know he's only good as your last fight, so I need to get this win on Friday, and that's all I'm really focusing on. But I've another year at Bellator now, so please God get a few wins, and we'll see how we go from there. But as I said, just, you know, just all systems go. The blinkers are on for Friday, you know.
Appreciate that. Best of luck for Friday.
Thank you.
Ciaran, how much do you know about your opponent, Raphael? Obviously, it only changed a couple of days ago. When looking for a few of his fights, and I think I found about 50 seconds of grainy footage. Have you found much of him?
No, I didn't find. My brother found a video there, and it was from like it was one of his finishes back in Brazil or something like that, you know. But yeah, it was what I looked at him. He's kind of like that kind of straight Muay Thai style, you know, straight jiu-jitsu, you know, that kind of style. What I seen of it, I just said like 50 seconds or whatever it was, and then I said looked at his record. I tried to find one or two of his fights that he had in other promotions, but it was very hard. But look, the way I look at it, I've, as I mentioned before, I've done the IMAFs. I've fought lads, you know, Russians, you know, lads from Belarus that I've never seen a minute on, you know, or I fought a Brazilian lad before and I seen him on the pads. He looked handy, so like, you know, I was just thinking, right, he looks handy there, I take him down, and like, might surprise you, he's Brazilian, you know, jiu-jitsu, but I control him on the ground. So yeah, I mean, I'm just prepared to go anywhere, and you know, that's down to be training in SBG with John and Dave Roach, you know.
John put up actually online about the decision to take the fight. Basically said you have a new opponent and you stopped him in the middle of the sentence and said, yeah, I'll take it. Before you even, was that the way you saw it too?
Literally, yeah. Like he just said it to me, and I was just like, brilliant. He just sent the Tapology record, and like, he was having the chat with Jude obviously, and I just said, deadly. I didn't even say like who he is. I just said, you got an opponent, happy days. So that was it. I was just happy to have an opponent, really, yeah.
A lot of SPG fighters have been talking to lately have mentioned Dave Roach's name, and you know, you obviously mentioned it there with John Kavanagh. Can you tell us a little bit about Dave Roach? I suppose he's a name of a guy we wouldn't hear much. You would hear, you know, John Kavanagh at the forefront and other guys. Can you tell us about him and how good he is as a coach?
Yeah, Dave. Like, I mean, Dave's he's there every day, same as John, and that when John's away and stuff. And like, the two boys kind of split things, you know. Whether if John was in, say for example, with Johnny, or Dave is over in Poland with Pavel, so they kind of split it up. But Dave's there every day. You know, he's putting in a lot of extra work with the lads in the pads, and like, it's great to have Dave around, his morale and stuff around the gym, and that kind of type of character. You know, he's had so much experience as well, and then, you know, in between the rounds with the simulation rounds we do and stuff, like, you'd have John and then him as well, so it's great, you know. But no, Dave's a great addition. I think it's now about 2-3 years, I'm not quite sure that he's come in full time, so it's great to have him there, yeah.
The last time we spoke at one of these scrums, you know, I think someone said you're like a tough, grinding fighter, and it wasn't that you took exception to it, but you said you're more than that. You wanted to show off, you know, on the feet as well as on the ground. When you're coming in preparing for George, who's obviously very good on the feet, and it looks like your new opponent is a good guy on the feet as well, what's like the combination between wanting to show off how good you are on the feet, but also wanting to fight? As you said there, you saw Gad was good in the pads, so you'll take him down, the winning fight, I suppose.
Yeah, like, I want to get comfortable in there now, and like, you know, really like be able. I'm trying to find not that I'm trying to find, but like, I want the opponent, and I always think they are like they're going to be, and of course they are, like, but I want to, you know, get comfortable in there, and for that opponent to bring it the best of me, you know, to play, and you know, to really show me striking there, and then as well the takedowns will come easier then as well, if that makes sense. So no, I'm really looking forward, and I'm really buzzing for this one, like, you know, to be just, you know, watching other events, and UFC's the weekend, the Contender Series last night, and like, you know, you're like, this is my opportunity now on Friday to make my highlight reel, or to, you know, it's the way I do it, you know what I mean? I could wish I could you know, all the entrances, all this evening, you know, it's great and all that, but I just wish you could just go in and fight and just, you know what I mean? I just love the fighting part of it, you know, so.
You said there about the long amateur career. How much do you think that helped you to go on and, you know, you're undefeated now, and we talk about win or learn all the time, but I feel like you have won and learned in your 5 or 6 fights so far. But how much did the long amateur career help you now as a pro?
Oh, massively. It's like, I put it down to everything, doing those IMAF tournaments, and, you know, as I said, I've done it all. I don't have to explain it all. Like, I've, you know, fought the who's who, and you know, the brawler, the grappler, the striker, the Brazilian, the Russian, the, you know, the fella that's 20 years older than me, you know, the full works, like, I've done it all. So, and another big thing as well, when you're doing the IMAFs, you're around the hotel, and you're like literally getting weighed in with your opponent. You're sitting there, and you're you know, you're sharing rooms and medicals and stuff, and then you might not even know you're fighting the man the next day. Like, I was literally in an ice bath before, I was rattling, I was 10 minutes looking, I was right, get to 10 minutes, and your man's beside me there, he's chilling out, you know what I mean? Didn't even know I was fighting the next day, like, you know, and he was kind of giving me the eyes, you know, and I hadn't a clue who I was fighting him, you know what I mean? So it didn't bother me, like, you know what I mean? He's kind of giving it the whole, you know, staring me down thing, and I was just like, doesn't matter, like, I hadn't even a clue I was fighting, you know? So those things get you ready for it, you know, seeing your opponent at the hotel, and, you know, mixing about and stuff. So it's great to have that experience.
Thanks, Ciaran.
Thanks, Sean.
Ciaran, hi, Jerry here.
Jerry.
You mightn't have met me before. Yeah, so seriously, like we've been, you know, followed you from the very start of your amateur career, pretty much.
Of course.
And I was actually commenting out on the meet and greet out in the square that, like, you've matured a lot over the last while. I mean, was it the pandemic or what? Like, you seem to have jumped a level in maturity.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, just I haven't a clue really. Yeah, I don't know. Just yeah, getting older now. You know what I mean? I might not look it, but I'm 27. You know what I mean? So I suppose it's about time, isn't it?
and the other part is like you were actually a kind of how would you call it? You know, like you're someone to look up to in Drogheda. And you've talked many times before about how you had 2 directions to go. One was the bad way, and the other was a good way. And like, you're a role model, and you're conscious of that. I mean, is that a pressure now, or is it getting less of pressure as you're maturing, and now for mental health as well? So I mean, you're doing a lot outside as well.
Yeah, no, it's something I'm you know, I suppose a big advocate of is you know, because of what happened in the town, and just even in Ireland in general, you know, it's you know, 2 ways you can go growing up, and it's quite obvious. It's, you know, it's black and white, like, you know. So, and I'd be always asking myself, like, I'd be always thinking, like, why didn't I? Or how was I strong enough? Or I'd be always thinking like that, you know. So, and then now I want to be able, like, you know, maybe after fighting and stuff, I want to get, like, even still now, I want to get involved in, like, you know, like, because I don't know, like, because I had the exact, you know, I didn't have a different upbringing to some people, or not that it was bad around, but, like, you know, you're in the same situations as some people, and next later you're like, why, you know, the choices I didn't make or whatever, you're just, you know, I'm blessed really, you know, but then it's like, I want to be able to, like, you know, help people, and it's the intervention, it's like, you know, 12, 13, it's not like when they're already in it, you know, type of way. So, but yeah, that's another conversation, but I definitely want to get into that after fighting now. You know, I'm still doing my little bits now here and there, but yeah, it's something, it's a big thing for me, you know, and it means a lot to me. And then you have people then saying, oh, you're a role model and all this, and it's like, no way, like, you know, that's mad, like, people that actually think that of me, or, you know, and then I'm like, I'm no saint, like, you don't be looking up to me, you know what I mean? So it's that's pressure as well then, you know.
Okay, so thanks, Ciaran.
Thanks, Sherry.
In that time, Ciaran, what would you say would be the biggest thing that you've learnt about Ciaran Clarke, like, say, off the back of your extended amateur career and now settling in, being a main card fighter? Like, where are you at with your relationship with yourself, and what have you learnt about yourself?
I've learned that, you know, I'm a lot tougher than I think, to be honest, and you know, I had a lot of ups and downs at amateur, and, you know, you got to a certain age where, like, things were, like, you know, needed to start happening, and, you know, and to be honest, like, I always knew, regardless, something good had happened out of this sport, and that's my personality. I just always stuck with it. I knew I put too much into it to not get something out of it, and again, as I said, I'm fully aware you're only as good as your last fight, you know. Things could change a lot in the year. That's why I don't like predicting what could happen, but all I know is I'm in control of now what happens Friday, and just that's the plan anyway. Just please God, go out and get the win, you know. Yup.
Ciaran, you always get insane support from Drogheda. It seems like the town empties out whenever you're fighting. How much do you appreciate all the support that you get from the town?
It's unreal, it's great, and it's great to see yourself there, Roisin, Drogheda man as well, and yeah, it's unbelievable. Like, I mean, I've been fighting in, you know, GAA halls and, you know, the TLT and Drogheda and all that, and always the same support's been coming. I always got big support always, and then just the likes of me sponsors getting behind me now locally, and you know it's means the world to me. And then you really feel the energy in there, even from just the fans themselves, the Irish crowd. You know what I mean? You really feel it, and it's unreal, the energy you feed off that, and you really feel a part of something, you know. So it's brilliant.
Does it add pressure knowing that you said you've got 300 people on buses coming up? Does that add pressure to you, or do you love that kind of stuff?
Oh no, like it does add pressure, but it's subconsciously. It's not something that I'm thinking about. Oh, such and such there, but I'm fully aware of, like, you know, how much it costs to get here, and you know, as you know, Drogheda, it's not like, you know, not like Black Rock or anything. You know what I mean? It's, you know, so people are taking days off work, and they're you know, they're going to some extent to make it there in the night, and before you put your hand in your pocket, it's a lot of money, and I'm fully aware of that. So, you know, that's in the back of my mind as well. I want to go out in here and put on a show for people, and I really appreciate the support, like, you know. So yeah, again, I'd love to get one abroad now after this one, or, you know, in between the two in between the two Irish ones. Yeah, because I think when you fight abroad, when I fought in Paris that time, it was no pressure. It was great, you know. It was just fight, you know. And then but look, again, it makes it better when you get the win here, you know. That'll never compare to anything, you know.
Thanks, Ciaran.
Thanks. Yep.
Paul and Angie been walking around Drogheda like celebrities after all.
Yeah. No, they were kind of. I think they were kind of giving out to me. You roped me into this, you know. They were dreading it, but no, it was great to get yourselves down to Drogheda, and yeah, it's brilliant, you know.
Thanks, Ciaran.
Thanks very much. Cheers.